Hello! Welcome back to Magi-Knights, the tabletop role-playing game. I'm Derek, the game designer. I play Khierix, my GM NPC. I'm the Magic Keeper, and we recently finished doing part 1 and 2 of the introductory section of episode 3. And now, as is hotly demanded and by request, a combat encounter. We likely won't finish the combat encounter, but we do want to kind of show off some unique mechanics and especially get into things like crystalline fractures, which are what you take instead of, in place of death saving throws. Yeah, we have the crystalline fracturing mechanic. And a lot of other unique things that we'll happily show off here. And with me, I've got... Why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself? This beautiful lady over here next to me.
Thank you. I'm Kira, and I'm the assistant game designer and project manager. And I'm playing Verity, whose Magi-Knight name is Heartkeeper.
Right. And next up is...
I'm Amber. I've been helping Kira and Derek here playtest the game for a few months. Mm-hmm. The character for today's session is Yoona, and her Magi-Knight name is Topaz Shine.
Awesome. Can't wait to see her get in combat. Mm-hmm. Last but not least...
My name's Connor. I'm playing Dane, whose Magi-Knight name escapes me.
Veilkeeper.
Alright, I'll try to remember this time.
No worries. Actually, I think this is the first time it's really come up since, before we were just doing student phases and such. So I had a quick student fight, social combat encounter. And just a heads up, those same rules do apply here. Sometimes you're able to use that, what do you call that? My own mechanics escape me at the moment. That's just so sad.
Social combat?
Social conflict?
Right, but make a convincing argument.
Conscience hit points.
And dealing damage to their conscience hit points, yes. So that does, in fact, work with cultists, and sometimes the cultists may even be students you recognize, or people from just around the neighborhood. You never know who you're going to see in a combat encounter, but...
Yep.
You never know, and doesn't necessarily mean they're evil. They've just maybe made some bad choices, and so that is always an option.
Because that's the core of Magical Girls.
Indeed.
Nearly everyone can be redeemed.
Exactly, and this goes the same here, except for, so we do have like our kind of cultists, the people who sell their souls to the spectral outsiders, the invading evil for power and gain. But it should come to no surprise that the actual spectral outsiders themselves are not able to be swayed from their dark purpose, except for in very, very rare circumstances that aren't really common knowledge. So I'll just help you save your turns. Don't try to convince the spectral outsiders. And you also don't share a language. They speak spectral, so you aren't able to really communicate with them unless they are a very powerful outsider that seems to speak your language. But you have yet to meet any of those. Anything else I should prelude this combat encounter with, Kira?
No, I think you covered everything.
All right. This is the first combat encounter from our free scenario, An Echo from the Stars. And this lovely map was made by our friend who we're trying to figure out what name they would like to have us post. So hopefully they'll get back to us before the end of the video. But they did a great job. We absolutely love it.
She did get back to us. Her
Perfect.
name is Tina Shumway.
Tina Shumway. Yeah, how can they find her if they love her maps art? Because she does do D&D. This is actually the first time she's done kind of a modern style of map, I think. But she did an amazing job. So
yes, she did. She said the screen name she would like to be used is, do you know how to say that? It looks like Arachnicolor.
Yes, it does indeed. Arachnicolor.
Yeah.
Perfect. So.
How's it spelled?
Like arachnid without the D and then color.
One word. All one word.
Fantastic.
Yeah, so huge shout out to her. Thank you for making this map, and yeah, it looks great. We're super excited to see it come to life. And she also did another map for our free scenario, so it looks great. Hope you guys enjoy these, and yeah, and just for this purposes of this stream, we're just using some what do you call those? Free resources from Roll20, because sadly we don't have any icons of our own.
Just for the monsters.
Just for
Everything
the monsters.
Else is ours.
Yes, the hero icons, of course. And all right, so just a quick prelude to this combat encounter. This is the first time the Magi-Knights have actually transformed and will be engaging in combat. Since this is the very first episode, episode 1, and they're still level 1, and the Doombringer saga goes all the way from 1 to 15. Of course, right now it's just the free scenario, 1 to 2. Once you finish Echo from the Stars, you'll be level 2, and then we keep going from there. We'll just keep releasing more stories and more mysteries, and hopefully everybody enjoys those. So this is after the players have completed their first school day. So they finished the student burn phase, they went through the lunch phase, they went through the PM student burden phase. Then they should have had some free time. They could have hit the mall, gone to the arcade, could have done a lot of different things depending on what the group likes to do. And then the investigation phase. And they probably found out some hints and some things that were happening within the confines of Lapis City. And finally the patrol phase, where they go out at night and patrol Lapis City for, well, looking for these guys, basically, making sure they're not kidnapping people and doing nefarious things, which of course they are. All right, so using the power of your soul crystals and following them to this area, I want to quickly say that you notice that there are some people here. However, your soul crystals don't react to cultists unless they invoke special magic. So using the magic of elsewhere, basically. Once they pull that magic, then your soul crystals start to react, which means that they can hide in plain sight as long as they don't show their hand, basically. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
That does.
Okay. Spectral outsiders themselves, however, if they're prowling about the city, unless they have special creature traits, your soul crystals will react to them. So, let's start with Verity. We'll say Verity is kind of the first one well, actually, let's go with who's got proficiency in purity. That would make sense. Anyone
That
have?
would be Yoona.
Yoona. Okay, Yoona.
Yes, I do.
You're up. All right, so since you have proficiency in purity, you're probably the kind of designated tracker for the group. So following the power of your soul crystal, it leads you to this strange, darkly lit alleyway. You see these 4 individuals, kind of push you guys up to them just to save on screen space, but you see them kind of just shuffling around kind of haggardly in this kind of tightly confined alleyway. It's about 11 p.m. at night, and it's not normal for people to be out this late. These are like, some of them are, businessmen. One of them is like a girl who has like an apron on. Another seems to be like a business lady, but she's not wearing any heels. And they kind of are just meandering about.
And she's not wearing shoes?
She's not wearing shoes, yes. I'll move them up just a little bit so they're not right in your face. How about that? All right, Yoona. So what do you do when you see these people?
They're just shuffling around, not reacting to anything in their environment, not even to each other.
No, they're kind of almost pacing about in a zombie-like state.
I think Yoona would probably honestly just run right up to one of them and just wave her friend in front of him like, "Hello, are you in there?"
All right. Yuna's just going to take the initiative, and she's like asking, "Hey, knock knock, anyone home?" And they all just kind of like, the four of them just kind of slowly turn to look at Yoona. And since you're this close to them, and you're very brave, I might add.
I think she's more reckless than brave, but keep going.
Fair enough. Maybe to the people looking on, they perceive her as brave, but little do they know. But
no, Verity, she knows.
Verity knows full well. She's like, "What are you doing?" The four people kind of slowly turn to look at you, and Yoona, as you're looking at them, you see that their eyes are almost kind of have this glossy look to them, as if it's like looking into a murky glass window pane. Behind them, you do see some people in the alleyway. You see, and I don't think they've noticed you quite yet, although they would now that you've kind of yelled. But over here, and where I just pinged, you see this gentleman. He's kind of just in the distance. You're not sure if he's a homeless man or what, but he's kind of just lying on this couch, motionless. This person over here, you make this loud gesture, and he turns, and he's wearing this black robe with a cowl over his head, and he sneers at you as soon as you kind of make this loud commotion. As you get, let's see, you're probably 4, 10, 20. Yeah, you're close enough now that I'll say you hear this strange chanting coming from around the corner, and you see this person right here. You can just make them out. They're wearing like these kind of more tattered brown robes. They're not as kind of, what do you call that, nicely made as this individual behind them. This guy seems to be the ceremony master or something, you're not sure. But this person is chanting something and making wild gestures with their arms. And you can hear other voices from around the corner, but with your point of view, that's all you can see. And as this master of ceremonies, I guess I'll call him, hears you, he turns to you and he says, You've come to interrupt our ritual, haven't you? Begone, fools! Soon my master will arrive.
You let these people go!
Well, let's see if that's actually going to happen today. Tonight. Alright, let's roll for initiative, everybody.
Okey-dokey.
And I am also playing an NPC Magi-Knight just to help these guys out, since 3 might not be enough. Yoona, nice. Yoona with
I guess front and center.
15?
Whoa.
Oh!
Have to make up for yesterday. That was rolling so
Well-
well.
Well, maybe Verity's just being cautious.
Maybe.
Which it counterbalances Yoona pretty well right now.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, let's try this again. 13. 15. It's been a while since I've used Roll20, mind you, so I think I don't roll initiative. We don't roll initiative for monsters in our game unless they're a boss. So these guys always have initiative 12, just flat 12, and I believe it's 12. I'm not misquoting myself. Maybe I can look that up while you guys are rolling for damage or whatever. But
Okay, yeah.
Dan got an 8. Verity got... Verity! Yeah, she's a little trepid here. What's going on?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is not aliens. This is 5e style. My bad. Alright. So, this is how we'll start out. And we'll start out with Yoona taking charge. What does Yoona do with her turn?
I think I think she's going to want to rush past all the people acting like zombies.
Alright. So you notice that as soon as this individual in the back has kind of taken note of you, he seems to have some sort of control over them as soon as he grows irritated, they slowly raise their arms as if they're preparing to...
Oh,
who knows? Boy. But they don't seem friendly anymore. Or spaced out. The Space Cadets have arrived home. How about that?
Okay. But if they have their arms up, it looks like they're probably going to try to grab me. But I have a sword and a shield for my weapon.
Yeah, so she does. So what do you think she will do with those? Will she cast a spell? Will she, try to... Oh, yeah, this is one thing we need to quickly clarify, is that we do have soul weapons. Obviously, every Magi-Knight is granted a soul weapon and soul armor. Soul weapons have this innate special ability that they automatically render mortals unconscious when they come in contact with them. So you don't have to worry about accidentally killing a mortal because that would grant corruption points. That's evil stuff. But it will knock out, render unconscious any cultists or mind-controlled people.
That goes for both magic attacks and the weapon use, right?
Correct, it does.
Because I'm thinking she'll probably use her beam spell to practically try to make a path down the middle of these zombie people, and it would also aim towards the cultist as well. I'm realizing if she does make that move, but yeah,
right.
Basically use her beam attack to part the seas in a sense.
Okay, so the beam attack will hit one of them. Explosion magic would hit all of them, as they're part of a horde.
Darn it.
So you could shoot past them, however, and try to hit the master in the back if you so desire.
That's what I would rather do. Is
okay.
Because taking one by one will be too much time. I'm gonna just go for why not just try to knock back the one controlling them?
For sure. I like it.
Okay. Remind me what I roll to actually... Do I need to roll to see to hit? Or do I just do the 2d6?
With the beam? Yes. Yes. With
okay.
The beam, you will.
Just the 1d20?
Plus your MAM and proficiency. So your spell attack should be on your third character sheet.
Yep.
Yep. Which mine is charisma. Okie doke.
You should have proficiency.
Yay. Which I do. Perfect. That's an extra 2 for proficiency, right?
So it should be plus 5.
Yep. Alright.
Alright, let's see how you do.
Woo!
Perfect. 14. Alright, that is a solid hit.
Sweet.
With this cultist in the back. And you're going to roll for your damage. So it's just 4d6.
Okay, 4d6.
Oh, I heard 46 damage.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah,
that sounded like
46 damage.
Okay,
roll.
Yeah, I was about to say I got 2 6s.
Yeah.
Nice.
15 total.
Okay, and you said your weapon is a medium weapon, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Sword and shield.
Sword and shield. All right, so it's not a magical implement, so you don't get extra damage, but you do get to add your MAM, your magical ability modifier. So you add that to the total.
Just another 3.
A 3. All right, so this guy is taking 18 damage, and we're not sure what his max is, but I don't know. Will it let me put question marks? Let's see. It will. All right, he's 18 damage. All right, and why don't you tell me a little bit about the spell? Each spell has its own attribute, right? It's a beam, but what does that look like when Yoona uses it? What's her element, and does she have a certain name for her beam spell? Things like that.
Well, because of her Magi-Knight name, Topaz Shine, her magic will be very like topaz colored, like typical topaz, yellow. Yeah. And so probably when she holds out her sword in front of her and what looks like a giant yellow crystal appears in front of her sword, and she just yells, "Topaz Beam!" Very simple.
Nice. All right. It impacts the cultist very heavily. He stumbles back, and you see all this like shimmering energy kind of part as it blasts into him. He snarls at you angrily and points his kind of curved theme at you. And he does not seem very happy. All right, next up.
I would hope not.
Nice. Let's see. He's back here.
What are you gonna name him?
Oh, he doesn't have a name, does he? His name is Siegfried.
Okay.
And
An excellent name.
Thank you.
What's his Magi-Knight name?
Oh yeah, his Magi-Knight name is the Azure Knight.
Oh, okay.
Alright, and he's going to go 5. And I'm actually gonna I'm gonna have him leap onto this building. So, really quickly, all Magi-Knights have some kind of innate abilities, right? So, real quick, you guys can, reveal outsiders with your... special outsiders can't be seen by mortals. They just kind of see, like, they might feel them, like have the sixth sense that something strange is nearby, but they can't actually see them for the most part. But, of course, Magi-Knights can. Obviously, you guys can transform, and your weapons can shed light, but you also have an ability called high jump and hover. And I'm going to use high jump. So high jump says I can jump a horizontal vertical distance of 15 feet, and I can combine 2 move actions to reach a 30 vertical or horizontal jump, which is how high up this building is. So I'm going to use or instead of using 2 move actions, I can make an athletics or acrobatics check to increase it, which is actually, that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to use my acrobatics to make a incredible leap up to the top of the building, but unfortunately, I'm not able to pass that DC of 12, so either I can lose 3 MP or take an exhaustion point, but I still gain the additional jump distance. I'm going to take an exhaustion point here. So I will put 1 exhaustion point on my little red thing, and I still get it, so I get to jump 30 feet up. And then I'll use my standard action as a move action to go to this corner. And I get to reveal all these people over here.
Are we starting with full HP and all of that?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. You guys can see the new... So he points out the 2 cultists. He sees that they're performing some sort of strange ritual. And you know what? As a bonus action, I'm going to go ahead and let him see if he understands what's happening. I'm going to say that Siegfried is not great with mysticism, but maybe he knows me. And I called it. He's not.
Yeah, the dice roll called it now.
Yeah. He kind of looks at them and he points it out. He says, "They're doing some sort of strange ritual, and there's someone in a runic circle. I don't know what they're doing, but it doesn't look good." And that is Siegfried's turn, or Azure Knight's turn. Alright. Next up is the enemies. And they do in fact have a default initiative of 12. So, alright, so these 4 people here are part of a horde. So we're gonna make what's called a horde attack, so hordes always attack with what's called overwhelming attacks, which means that instead of the Magic Keeper rolling for them, the player actually has to defend against them as they are overwhelmed by this horde of people. So the DC is 12, and the DC is lowered each time a member of that horde is defeated, but they're all up. So, Yoona, your DC is 12, and you have to use either your athletic ability to keep them off of you and to kind of like push them away or fight them off, or your acrobatics to kind of dodge and weave around them. What would you like to use here?
I'm using acrobatics.
Perfect.
She's much better with that.
So this is essentially a skill check with your acrobatics, and DC is 12. And these individuals lunge at you. So go ahead and...
Acrobatics. Let's see how this rock and rolls. Oh, barely.
Yeah. You only need
Like
12, right?
The narrowest of margins.
Yeah.
Very nice. Awesome job. All right, so you're able to... How does Yoona fend off these 4 people rushing forward to kind of take hold of her? How does she do that?
Well,
She's dodging them, right?
Yeah,
yep,
she's using her acrobatics.
she's dodging them. Like, she might not be very athletic or strong, but she is into the performing arts, has done theater and musical, so it's kind of like she's doing little dance steps to go side from side and dodging them.
Nice. All right, very good. Okay, but the turn is not over. The strange cultists around this runic circle are going to make a mysticism check. Let's see how they do. And actually, I think I have the DC here. Let's see. Okay, they gave me +3. Alright, let's see how this goes. Oh, not good. Not good. Okay. You're not sure what's happening, but you do kind of hear them begin to quicken the pace of their arcane speech, and they seem to get, pretty excited about this. There's like this euphoric tone in their voice, and yeah, it doesn't seem good. You kind of hear them say, and you can almost see Siegfried can almost see one of the cultists grinning from ear to ear as if he can't wait to see what's gonna happen next. So there's that for that guy. These mind-controlled individuals turn around and begin marching. March forth. I'm just reading the one guy.
He's the only one listening to the commands.
Apparently so. This is a Magic Keeper error. There we go. Okay, so where is he? So 5, 10, 15, 20. Actually, I guess I need to make sure they don't. I'll just say they end up here. Yeah. Let me turn down towards the corridor. And last but not least, our Master of Ceremonies. The Master of Ceremonies. Let's see what he's got available to him. Yeah, I like this. All right, here we go. He's going to let out a string of incomprehensible words, and he points to Yoona, who has kind of, smacked him with that nasty topaz beam she had, and you hear him kind of utter something nasty towards her, and he says, "Dayakhwil Yadalada." And you can suddenly hear his voice kind of pounding in your head, Yoona, as as this string of incomprehensible expletives, you realize kind of make your the hairs on the back of your neck stand on end, and it seems to be some sort of vow of death. So, actually, and this affects all Magi-Knights within 60 feet of him. So, all Magi-Knights must make a purity roll DC 13. Upon failure, you receive 2 stress points. Huzzah! Siegfried is like, silence, fool! Uh-oh. Nope. No dice for Dan. Okay.
Yoona's thankfully proficient in purity.
Alright. So Dan
Verity.
and Verity. So the DC was
12.
Did you fail by 5 or more?
No.
No, but Dan did. So
I
Dan,
did.
Dan, you gain the feverish dreams effect during the next sleep phase.
Not again.
Not again. He's like, this? Please no. And basically what this means is that not only do you take 2 stress, but when you try to sleep tonight, you're just going to have these feverish dreams that kind of keep you up. You're going to kind of have to maybe narrate to your group what those dreams might be and how they keep you tossing and turning all night, and it'll reduce the amount of HP, exhaustion, and stress you regain. So that's rough. Hopefully you don't take too much damage from this, but we'll see what happens. All right, and that's their turn. Dan, what do you got going on?
I am going to cast Amplify.
Casting
Is
Amplify.
+1 to attacks and saving throws for all Magi-Knights within 30 feet.
All right, and we actually fixed
Thanks,
that
David.
so that it just affects the squadron regardless of range now. So
Ooh, I like that.
yeah, so as long as you don't lose total focus, you will maintain the +1 attack and saves for your entire squadron. You do still have a bonus action. Is there anything you can do with that bonus action that you might want to do? I'm not sure. What was your other spell type?
Transformation.
Transformation. Alright, I don't think that one is able to be quick casted.
I don't think so.
Some of our spells, let me see if I can grab those real quick. Spell pass. Yeah, so some of our spells can be some of our spells can be modified. So you can take, if you're out of mana points, you can take an exhaustion point to reduce the mana cost of that spell. But that's not an issue here. You can rush a beam, explosion, curing, or restoration spell and cast it as a bonus action. Doing that takes an exhaustion point. And then, casting a rush spell reduces the total damage or healing by half, but it still uses the same amount of mana, and you can also overcharge those same 4 spells. But unfortunately, transformation is not one. So for your bonus action, would you like to move anywhere, or you just want to stay where you're at?
I think movement will provoke an opportunity attack.
Yeah, unless you're moving deeper into the battle, yeah. Like
He
you
could
can-
hop onto the building like
I could-
Siegfried.
Yeah, you might be able to. He would provoke, but he can move straight behind Yoona at least.
Also true.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay, perfect. And
I'm going to start shouting random words. Try to make the cultists lose focus.
That's amazing.
All right. Well,
Like what
okay.
words? Tell us what words.
Like, Darik, Eek, Ran, Hunan, monkeys.
Hey, that was Orcish with a little bit of common sprinkled in there. I like it. You're like, wait a minute, we speak spectral, not black speech. Alright.
That's what I'm going for.
Perfect. Verity, what do you have going on?
I'm going to cast Explosion on the board that's right in front of us.
Perfect. So explosion magic, instead of measuring out cones or anything like that, explosion will always hit one horde, regardless of where they're at. So they'll have to be connected. A horde has to stay connected. But explosion magic will hit all 4 of them, and it doesn't affect allies because of the positive nature of the energy, since it's generated from your soul crystals. So, explosion magic cool thing about this, cannot miss unless you roll a 1. So instead, what Khierix is going to do is roll to see how on target her explosion magic is. So if it's on target and she hits a 16 or higher, she does full damage. Otherwise, if it's 15 or less, then she will only do half. So good luck.
Thank you. Woohoo!
Ooh, she's on target no less. All right, so full damage with that explosion magic. So what's your damage on that?
I was trying to remember, do I add my MAM to it?
You add MAM to everything, basically.
Okay, that's what I thought.
So healing, damage, anything with dice, basically.
So it's 1d12 plus 3.
All right, perfect.
Yay!
11 damage. Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
And
Verity nice.
Very nice. Oh, ha, 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 ha. And just, yeah, but leave it to Kira. Oh, great. And yeah, also the first spell tier for explosion also has a special ability of intensity. So if you had rolled a 1, it would become a 3. But thankfully, that's an 8 is much better than a 3. So let me check the HP total for this horde. Each part of this horde is going to take 11 damage. Let's see. I don't think they're gonna.
Oh, and I forgot to say, her explosion spell is called Soul Radiance.
Soul Radiance. Okay.
Yeah, and then it's like a big flash of light with little sparkly hearts that pop around in it, I guess.
Okay, I like it. Yeah. So this, the hearts just kind of flutter out and like blow all the people away from Yoona. They all kind of stumble back, and you see them kind of just fall to the ground and kind of just pass out. And you've single-handedly taken out the entire horde. So that cost. Yeah, that was 3 mana points, right? So how many more mana? How much mana do you have left?
Let me see.
Yes, I should be keeping track of how much mana gets used.
Yeah, so each of you used a spell except for Siegfried, so you guys should have, you should be down 3 mana points each.
She has a lot of mana since I took the, what do you call it, magic implement.
Oh, okay, you have magical implement. Okay.
Yeah, so
Kind of like the caster option for your soul weapon. Okay.
So I have 9 MP left.
And since you took a magical implement, what weapon qualities does that have?
Oh, that's right. I have the...
Embolden,
I have up
focus,
here.
and warding?
When a character casts a spell while wielding a weapon with Embolden, the damage dealt by the spell is increased by 1 plus an additional 1 per Magi-Knight level. But I didn't need it anyway, I guess.
You didn't need it, but it would have been a 13.
Yes.
Very nice. Okay, you still have a move and a bonus action. What would you like to do with those?
I'm going to move... Actually, I think I want to go up on the building too.
Okay. So you're going to have to make a... Since you already used your standard action to...
Oh, that's right.
You could make the acrobatics athletics check. You want to do that?
How tall is the building?
30 feet.
Oh. Ooh, I guess I'll try.
Okay, go ahead. What was it, DC 12? Are you using acrobatics?
Yes.
Okay.
I think I get +5 or 4.
Oh, wow. Very
Let me
nice.
see. Oh, it's 4.
Okay. Very nice.
Ah!
Okay. You have to kind of exert yourself to get up on top of that roof. Would you like to use 3 mana points or take an exhaustion point?
Take an exhaustion.
All right. And you managed to get up on top of the roof.
Can I be anywhere other than this, or is that only to get up?
It was just to get up because it's you gotta focus on getting, what do you call that? Vertical clearance first.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, because Siegfried, as your knight, actually had to use his entire turn getting to where he was. So he made the jump, and then he used his move to get to the corner to kind of scout out the area.
Oh, okay.
All right, perfect. Very nice turn. Well done.
Thank you.
All right, round 2. Yoona.
Oh boy, there's significantly fewer people in front of me. Making progress.
Indeed, there is.
Oh, with how much MP I have, I can only cast 2 more spells.
Okay, and that was Beam, and what was your other one?
My other one is Curing.
Curing, okay.
And
Although, there's that option to cast without mana.
There is, yes. You can take an
I think it's
exhaustion.
taking exhaustion.
Mm-hmm.
You can also attack with your weapon too, because isn't your attack pretty good?
yeah, I'll double check. But my attack is +5, so that is pretty good. But basically, she's gonna need to. What she's gonna want to do is get past the rest of the horde. Like, probably attack the one closest to her because she's going to try to get past them to get to the cultist up close.
Okay.
You could, I mean, if you want to, you could do another beam to hit somebody farther away, and then I can do the horde on my turn. But that's up to you.
That's a good point.
Although there's no guarantee I'd actually kill them if I don't do enough damage.
Yeah, well, knock them unconscious.
Oh yeah, knock them unconscious.
Yeah, these are innocent people. They're
I
just mind
forgot.
controlled. Come on.
I know, I'm
You
sorry.
play too much D&D.
If you
It's
want
so
to kill
violent.
them, you can use a brick.
Well,
That's true.
you know what? I bet she like raises her sword about to strike the minions. Is like, wait a minute, I could use beam attack again. My topaz beam at the guy behind them again. See if
Yep.
I could get him to stop doing it that way until I can actually reach him to knock sense into him instead of just knocking magic at him.
Very true.
I think that's what I will do.
Okay. Let loose the beam cannon.
Roll.
Or the topaz cannon.
Yeah, topaz beam. And +3 +2, which is 5. Okay. New.
You know what I forgot to do?
What?
Oh, unfortunately, that is a miss. The topaz beam flashes right over his shoulder and splashes this huge array of energy into the building that just kind of harmlessly disperses. You could attempt a rushed beam, so you could use your bonus action and make another beam attack, but you would only deal half damage, which may be enough to incapacitate him. We're not sure.
I think I don't like the idea, but I think Yoona would do it.
Okay,
Being in character.
perfect. Let's see if she can make it round 2, or shot number 2. On round 2, actually.
Ba-doo.
Ah-ha!
Much better. Look
better.
at that.
All right, so you're gonna go ahead and roll that 46 plus 3, and
He
you're
wasn't expecting the second one.
No, he was not. He looks at the building. He's like, ha, and then he's like, oh. So 46 plus 3, and we'll just cut it in half, round it down.
Yep. Oh wait, oops. I forgot the command in front of it. That happens.
Well,
Oh,
we got the
come
right
on.
numbers at least. Now we know.
Yep. Then my computer decided to be wonky. Do. Oh, 14 and half is 7. That's not bad.
7 damage. All right, that puts him at 25. Ooh, all right. Let me check here. Is someone's peeking over my shoulder?
Sorry.
No, that's actually it. Yeah, that's perfect. You shoot this beam into him. He, as Connor so justly put it, he doesn't expect it. He kind of like turns to give this amused smirk, and suddenly just gets plowed in the face with this magical topaz beam, and he stumbles back and lies unconscious on the ground. Caca. All right, Yoona is completely out of mana, but well worth her time.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, Yeah, she's down technically to 1 mana, but that's not enough to do anything with.
Unfortunately, no. Alright, Siegfried / the Azure Knight. Oh, I didn't even think about what weapon he has. We'll say, since he took the high ground, he probably has a bow. Let's see. He has like these magical throwing knives. He throws out, and he's gonna go ahead and use those throwing knives against this cultist in the corner over here, well within his range. Let's see if he hits. 14, 13. Let's see. For an initiate cultist. Ahaha. Perfect. And that is a hit. I think his weapon quality is vicious, which doesn't help him here. That's only if he crits. He does maximum damage. Or adds an additional die with the maximum facing, but not relevant in this instance. 10. Smokes this cultist in the corner. The cultist initiate. He aims this throwing dagger, flies through the air, and slices clean through. This magical dagger just kind of pierces through him, slams into the ground, disperses, and the cultist looks down as if he felt something, but there's nothing there. And he turns to see Azure Knight atop the roof, and he suddenly just falls over unconscious. Alright. But they are not going to stop. No. Where's this at? So they get, let's see, they don't. It is one of their bonuses since they're down a bit. So, whew, things are going pretty ugly. Let's see if, oh, that's not good.
Oh dear.
All right. They have succeeded twice on their mysticism checks. One of the person within the circle of the rune has been slowly kind of glowing, growing brighter and brighter as they continue with their chanting, and you see the body of this cultist just suddenly sinks into the ground as if it were quicksand and disappear.
No.
Indeed.
Coming very good or very bad?
Coming up out of the circle now instead, the runic circle slowly begins to churn with this strangely colored black and purple vortex. And you see this clawed hand slowly reach out and grasp onto the cement, and it hoists itself up out of this runic circle. And prepares for...
It was very bad.
It is very bad. Khierix, I don't have an icon for him, but he's been watching on one of the rooftops, and he nods and gets a slightly concerned look on his face.
That's not a good sign.
That is not a good sign, but that is their turn, and it will activate on their turn. The cultist initiates, or actually the mind-controlled humans, however, will attack Yoona. Yoona, an overwhelming attack. This is your duty to defend against them.
Oh boy. What do I do? Roll defend against them?
Acrobatics.
Yes. That again.
Mm-hmm.
Let's hope this rock and roll's okay.
Wow. You guys are on fire tonight. Very nice.
Yay.
All right. Good job. You defended against them. However, suddenly, seemingly out of nowhere, let me check the stat on this real quick. You see this strange kind of warbling in the air, like as if something is invisible, like an invisible bolt flying through the air, and it flies towards you. But does it hit? Let's see.
Do I need to roll again, or is it just my...
This is an attack, so not an overwhelming attack. So what is your Magi-Knight armor?
Magi-Knight armor is... I just wrote down +2. I don't know if there should have been any other numbers besides that.
So what's your element?
Fire?
Fire. So I think fire is 13 plus 2 dex, so 15, plus your shield is 17. So that's a pretty high number. Unfortunately for you, this bolt, you don't see it coming. You just kind of, you're standing there looking triumphant as you, knock down the master of ceremonies, this cultist, and suddenly a beam slams into you.
Oof.
And you must also make a roll to resist magic. So what this means is instead of making a generic charisma, wisdom, or intelligence saving throw, where you roll them all up into one nice little number, it's just roll to resist magic. So you're going to roll your d20 plus your MAM. And if you were a void element, which you're not, you just said you're fire, you would have proficiency, but you don't. So it'll just be 1d20 plus 3.
And you get +1 from amplify.
Correct.
That's true.
All right. So
Thank
go ahead
you for
and-
reminding me.
Yeah, that's awesome. So add that in.
All right, and here we go. 19!
19. Nice. As this bolt slams into you, you kind of feel your vision become kind of hazy and foggy, and you concentrate really hard, and whatever strange magic was trying to occlude your vision has been dispersed. You do, however, take... Let's just roll and see how much damage you take. Oof. 11 damage. Maximum.
HP.
I think my match HP is actually 11. That would knock me to 0.
So this knocks you down to 0. So what happens now is you need to make a choice. You either go unconscious, not unconscious, you could become exposed, which means let's just pull up this new condition, because this is a new condition that we have in our game.
Okay.
And it would be a good review for us. So let's see here. So, exposed. Alright, you are struggling to stay conscious. The only action you can take during your turn is a single free action. Your faltered speech is only audible at a 5-foot range and can be difficult to be understood during battle, which requires a perception skill check, DC 12. If you have total focus, you immediately lose it. So thankfully this isn't Veilkeeper, who would lose his total focus if he gains the exposed condition.
Mm-hmm.
So you can either become exposed.
I amplify spell.
Oh, so when you reach 0, you take 1 crystalline fracture. You have 8. If you have 7 and you have to take an additional 1, you die. But you can also use a Magi-Knight special ability called Heroic Conviction. So what happens is when you are reduced to 0 and you take that initial crystalline fracture, you can take another crystalline fracture to remain standing with 1 hit point. So it's up to you. What do you think you want to do?
I think Yoona's going to take the second crystalline fracture to be at
Okay.
1 HP.
Alright, she'll be at 1 HP. She has 2 crystalline fractures, and she's still in the fight. Alright, and because the Azure Knight has such a nice kind of view of the battlefield, I'm going to allow him a free perception roll to see if he can figure out where that came from.
Oh.
He doesn't see where that strange bolt came from. Wherever it was, that person's hiding pretty well.
Darn.
Magic.
Uh-huh, it's true. He's like, magic? What was that magical right there? Why did Yoona just fall over? So that is the completion of their turn. However, I did forget to write a few things here, and that is dynamic objects.
All right.
Yeah, so
Yes.
there are some objects on the battlefield that may be useful to you guys. So let's, as a group, let's name 3 objects that might be found in this area. What do you think? I see a dumpster. So let's do
Yeah, I was
dumpster.
about to say a dumpster or trash can.
Which could be used for cover?
Could be. Let's keep talking about it though. Let's name the 3 items, then we'll go back to them.
Oh, okay.
A cat.
A cat. Sure.
No, not a cat.
There's a cat. And last one.
A box?
Okay. What kind of box? Just a cardboard box?
Like,
or?
A cardboard box. It probably has like some newspapers in it.
Okay.
Someone just left it there.
Card box. Shh, quiet. Cardboard box. With paper. Okay, I like that. Alright, and hopefully that's not too hard to see. Might be a little bit with that bright red.
I think
but
it's fine.
It's alright?
Mm.
Okay, perfect.
The cat.
The cat, indeed. I'll put that over here. You can blame Connor for that one.
Mm-hmm.
He brought a cat into the battlefield.
No.
Alright, so what these dynamic objects do is usually it's 1 to 2, but we're gonna use 3. I actually like the number 3, so maybe we'll bump that up. But what happens is we can either draw these on the map or we can just say that they're there. And what this does is at any time a Magi-Knight can, if they can think of a clever way to incorporate one of those objects into an action they take, they simply remove the dynamic object from the list and they gain an object bonus. And this can be +2 to an attack roll, +10 feet to a high jump, a minor reduction in stress points, or they can inflict disadvantage, they can knock people prone with a ranged object attack, restrain them, or some other, any effect that, you know, if you run by me and I'm like, okay, that seems reasonable, and that'll work. So for instance, the cat, maybe saving the cat is what Heartkeeper does on her turn, and saving that cat reduces the stress she has, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So that could be something. Or maybe Connor gets to the cat first, takes the cat and throws it at one of the cultists' face, and it sits there clawing his face up.
That's what I'm thinking of.
No.
Connor, that's cruel.
Hey, it worked in Hocus Pocus.
Don't do it.
All right. Actually, Hocus Pocus, was that out this time?
I think Hocus Pocus was a little later.
No,
Remind me what
93.
year it's set in.
93, yeah. That's what happened. Connor watched Hocus, Dane watched Hocus Pocus, and he's like, oh yeah, here it comes.
Oh yeah, because the year
I've been
first...
waiting to try this.
Yep. All right.
And because we're in the year 1995, right?
Correct, correct. Yeah, it's July 95. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Yeah. Connor, though, it is your turn now that we've put up those dynamic objects for you. What'd you like to do?
I really want to use the cat, but I should probably save Yoona. I'm going to dash forward and try to get between her and the horde.
Okay, you can dash forward next to her. And would you like to cure her as a bonus action, or...
Well, I don't have healing magic.
Oh.
He's not curing. He just said he wanted to get between them. Can he move her back, though?
Can I, like push her back?
I don't think
it might get, like, an opportunity attack, but I'm just trying to prevent her from falling again.
Yeah.
I personally wouldn't mind that if you use it as a standard action, but it's a matter of, would Yoona go along with this? I don't know. What do you think?
Don't think she has the energy to resist Dane pushing her back.
Okay.
So whether or not she wants to doesn't matter. I don't think she can.
Alright, so this isn't in the rules, but I think for a standard action, swapping places with a comrade to protect them is perfectly viable. So yeah, we'll accept that as your standard action. You do have a bonus action. Didn't you say you have curing? Who has curing?
That would be me.
Yeah,
I'd have to cast
just a-
it on my own turn.
Ooh,
I have
actually,
restoration, though,
you have
so I can give
restoration.
her tap HP on my turn.
Alright, and that does bring up an interesting point with healing magic, well, specifically curing, because you have to pull magic out of your soul crystal and then you're shunting it back into it to heal yourself, you do not gain your modifiers to your healing. You only get the die roll, alright?
I'll remember that.
So that's kind of an interesting thing we have. But as you said, Verity will do that. Bonus action. I think we had this issue last time where you don't have anything you can do with that. So let's move on. to Verity.
Okay, so do you think I should take out the horde first, or
You
use
could
restoration?
you could try to take him out with a bonus action with explosion, right?
But it will be reduced damage, so that probably wouldn't kill them.
If you're
Or
on target,
put them
though.
unconscious.
This depends. You have a magical implement. You do quite a bit of damage.
Can't I bonus action restoration too, though?
You could, and that heals half. Well, that grants temp HP half. So I guess it's up to you.
I think I'll just do explosion for now so that she can move freely, and then do restoration next time.
Do you want to move next to?
Yes.
okay,
To
go
Siegfried.
Siegfried's like, hey, Verity, nice view up here, huh?
So yeah, it looks great.
No, it really doesn't. Things aren't looking so great. He points to the creature that just came out of the runic circle.
Say, oh, I couldn't see that before.
Yeah, that's true, actually. She couldn't. She's like, oh, I'm going to go back to this side of the roof. All right, so does she do the explosion first? Is that what you decided?
Yes.
Okay, go ahead. Let's see what happens. I think it was 5.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh.
On target again. Dang. Heartkeeper on fire. And this is actually +5, remember?
Oh, yeah.
2 from your magical implement and
Thank
then
you.
3 from your MAM.
10 damage.
And 10 damage is enough to completely render unconscious the entire horde group. They kind of... Dane rushes to Yoona's aid, pulls her back, and right as he does so, this enormous beam of heart explosions just blows these people away, and he kind of just stands there in front of them like, oh. Alright then.
Oh, I guess I didn't need to do that.
No, thank you, Dane. You are my lifesaver. Yay, Verity! And she's delirious while shouting this.
And Dane, it's actually a good thing you went up there because, well, yeah, that's not their turn yet, but something nasty's coming your way. You said for your bonus action, you want to rush cast a restoration, is that what you said?
No, I'm just gonna wait till next turn to
Okay.
use that.
So you're down to 6 of 12 MP.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, Yoona, what you got going on?
Oof. Well, being just at 1 HP, I don't think there's much she might try to do something that she's like, no, I can't do anything, and just cast Curing on herself, which
Okay. Does she want to rush it, or does she want to just do a standard one?
I think just a standard.
Okay, perfect. Go ahead. You just roll your healing, which was... I don't know if it changed in 2.1. Let me check for you real quick.
Yeah, I had written down, I'd looked it up and it said 1d8 plus 1d4, but I don't know if you changed that.
That is still the same, correct? Yes.
Okay.
So go ahead.
So-
1d8 plus 1d4. No MAM, sadly.
Yeah, understandable. That healing will work better on other people than on yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, nice roll.
Nice roll.
Oh my-
Hey, I'm back to full HP now.
Oh, you had
That's-
10.
Yeah, she has starts with 1, right? So 10 plus 1.
Yeah,
She's like-
I'd gone down to 1, and then I
Yes.
get 10, I'm back up to 11.
Excellent roll. Very nice. Very nice. Good job. Okay. Anything with that bonus action?
I'm bad with combat stuff. What kind of things can I do with a bonus action?
So let me
You
look
can
up-
mock your enemies.
You can mock your enemies. Like that's Dan's favorite thing to do.
It is.
Mock his enemies.
Try to confuse them by saying gibberish.
Yeah. Types of actions. Here we go. You can cast a rush spell, release the energy inside of a shard of power, look around quickly, or other actions that may be executed quickly. Actually,
guess-
Oh, wait a second. Didn't you bring a healing shard?
That was technically in episode 3, and this combat's in episode 1, so I don't think I have that one shard yet.
that's true. However, I will tell you that you were hit by that invisible bolt of magic, and I'm gonna allow you a perception check to see if you can discern
Figure out
where it came from. Yeah, with that
Okie
bonus
dokie
action.
dokie. Let's see. Ah. Well, if I don't get anything added to my perception roll,
Okay.
clearly I'm not very perceptive, which she's shown during regular school scenes. She's not the most perceptive.
That was awesome.
Wow.
Oh
my gosh.
The turnaround.
It was gonna look like it was gonna be 3 and then 19 like this.
Very nice. All right. You realize that the bolt came from somewhere straight down the alleyway.
Like right ahead of me or right behind me?
Right ahead of you. It seemed to hit you straight on. So there's something down this alleyway that you don't know if it's someone hiding behind like a dumpster or what, but
Maybe Yoona will tell Dane, you try to deal with the outsider in the ring and the cultists over there. I'm gonna find who the secret attacker is, so they can't be sneaky anymore.
All right. Oh, you know what? I forgot something super important.
Yes. I think her... Can I do movement as a bonus action? Because I think she just tried to move closer to find where the secret assailant is.
You used your bonus action to make the perception check, but you do have a move. So you can use your move to move 30 feet.
And 30 feet. Okay, so... Is diagonally moving still 5
Just
feet as
5.
well?
Yeah, it's just 5.
Okay. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. There we go.
All right. So remember this. I called this guy out before, but there's this gentleman, but he's kind of just sitting on this sofa as if he's passed out. He could be a hobo. He could be, you don't know. But he's literally just passed out laying on this chair unconscious. Or at least he seems to be. Now, here's a very big thing I messed up on. Horrific outsiders. So, most outsiders have a horrific rating. So, at the top of the round, I should have had you roll for this. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to do it right now. So, the way this works is everybody in view of the spectral outsider, or really it's just anyone in the battle, they have to roll to resist horror, and that is a D100 roll. You get to, let's see, if you've encountered the creature before, you get plus 15, but you guys have not. You do get to add your purity save to the total, so 1D100 plus purity. So before I explain what happens with that, let's just go ahead and roll that real quick. So say
All of us do?
Yep, everybody makes a horror. Whoa, Siegfried's like, this is intense, but this is what I've been trained for.
This is because of the creepy monster showing
Yes,
up?
this is Indigo Husker. So
1 plus 1 D100 plus purity.
yeah.
Ooh.
Ooh, Verity, very nice. Yeah.
Right.
Let's see the.
Let's hope Yoona goes okay.
Let's see real quick. I don't have Indigo
Nice.
Huskers from the core.
Sorry. Okay, cool. 76.
Wow, you guys
Yeah.
are rocking it.
Maybe
Whoa, it's for the
Dan
60.
is the only one. I don't know if he is or not, though.
Wow, every single one of you passed.
Oh,
Are you kidding me?
wow.
That's incredible.
That's never happened.
Power of friendship on our sides. What would have happened if someone had failed, though?
Yeah,
Remind
let's go through this. So the Indigo Husker has a horrific rating of 50. What happens here, and I'm almost a little sad it didn't happen because, you know what, I'm going to say, just so that we can experience this, I'm actually going to have Siegfried. He's going to be the one to fail here.
No, Siegfried.
Yeah, Siegfried. He's not nearly as cool as he thought he was. He gains 1 stress point and an additional 1 stress point for every 15 numbers between your total and the horrific rating up to your maximum stress. So I'll just roll again, and we'll see what he gets. He's going to get a...
Roll until he rolls low.
That's exactly it, a 39.
Oh, hey, it's a 39. So.
Okay, so he's 10 off, so he gains 1 stress and additional stress because there's every 15 numbers, right?
He didn't
Oh, he
have
didn't even
15,
have that.
just
So
the
he really
one.
just takes the 1 stress. Wow. All right, so he just takes the one stress. And then if you have 6 or more stress points from this, you actually gain a trauma point. And trauma points are anytime you guys have to deal with something that's really harsh, anytime a fellow Magi-Knight dies, anytime you have something really horrible and terrible happen to you, kind of like horrific nightmares, or being picked on at school by like a group of bullies or anything like that. There's lots of different ways to get trauma. Yeah. Why are you laughing, Con?
Yeah, really.
There's so many ways to be traumatized.
There's so many ways, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. So while he's horrified, he has disadvantage on all checks and saves. His move is reduced to 0. He cannot make attack actions. Attack rolls against him automatically succeed, and he fails any leadership checks he makes. He's dropped to the bottom of the initiative track, so I just put him down to 1. And if this happens with multiple Magi-Knights, you adjust their turn order based on their previous initiative roll. So let's say Verity. Verity had also failed hers. Then Sebastian would be before Verity because he rolled higher initially.
Siegfried.
Siegfried, thank you. And then at the end of his turn, he gets to roll to resist horror again. On success, he can remove this condition. And on failure, the condition is automatically downgraded to the distressed condition. However, the reason for him moving to the bottom of the initiative track is so that as a bonus action, his allies can attempt leadership skills, a skill check against DC 16 to help him overcome his fear. And that reduces him to this distress condition, which can be downgraded to just completely removed. All right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if you have total focus, you lose it. But thankfully, hey, Dane's all good to go. So let's try this again. Yoona went, and it would have been Azure Knight / Sebastian, but unfortunately... Siegfried. Why did I suddenly change his name?
Don't know.
Oh my gosh. So I'm just going to call him the Azure Knight. That one's easy to remember. Fortunately, it's the bad guy's turns. So these two are actually part of a horde. They're going to move together now. And they're going to move towards Dan. Actually, no. They're going to chase after you. They're like, where are you going, girl?
What?
Like, where are you going? Why are you going?
Of course they would.
Mm-hmm.
And this is another overwhelming attack. However, the DC is pretty low because there's only 2 of them. So go ahead and make that roll. Initius Cultists, there's 2 of them, so the DC is 10.
Yep. 1d20 plus acrobatics.
Oh, you know what? I lied. Since I've already missed 2 of them, they're going to use their ranged attack here. They are going to use the Barrage of Flames. They get a +4 to this attack.
Okay.
And they're still going to miss. All right, they have these flames in their hands and they just kind of lob them over towards you. But unfortunately, they completely miss. So there's that. However, maybe this guy won't miss.
Oh.
Yeah,
the
hi. The Indigo Husker.
the Cthulhu monster. I mean,
Yeah.
the outsider.
Yeah, the outsider, yeah. We don't have a token for these guys, but he's this very gaunt, kind of gray mottled skin stretched tightly over thin bone, and you can kind of see this like emaciated body, but he's 7 feet tall, and he has these rust-colored orbs for eyes. He doesn't have a mouth except for, well, he has a mouth, but there's like these fleshy strings that kind of warble and like shake and move like leaves in the wind whenever he breathes. And you can see these like noxious purple, well, actually indigo colored fumes come out of his mouth as he exhales. And that's actually what he's gonna do. So he's gonna approach Dan, he's very perturbed that you seem so fearless and don't cower before him. And let's see. looks like, I don't know, does he spew toxins? Is there anyone nearby? Nope, just you. Nope, he's just going to use his claws. So here we go. He's going to make 2 claw attacks, but his Fury Swipe bonus action inflicts only half damage. So let's see how this goes. 1d20 plus. What's your armor? 18?
Hey, you totally missed, right?
Did you say your armor is
I do have a
18?
force shield. Yeah.
Dang, son. Yeah. All right, the
Good
claws.
job, Dane.
Yeah, the claws slam towards Dane. but-
Actually, it might only be 15. I think I miscalculated it.
What's your element?
Void.
Okay, 13 plus dex.
I get my dex is 2. I get
Okay,
I think
15.
2 from the shield,
17.
1 from something else.
One from something else. Oh, did you take a combat form?
Yeah, deflection.
Deflection. Oh, then you've got an 18 armor. Yes, you do.
Oh,
Perfect.
it is. Okay.
Yeah, he just kind of slams his claws into this, like, whatever your shield is. What does it look like?
It probably looks like a shield.
Well, I mean, is it incorporeal? I mean, you could reskin your shield as anything. You could say it's an invisible barrier. It's a floating object that rotates around you to deflect blows, you know. But it's just a standard shield. In fact, it's like a regular D&D kite shield. You just kind of like throw it up there and the claws slam into it. All right, cool. That's that. And that invisible beam comes towards Yoona once more. Hopefully it doesn't knock her out again.
Oh boy, oh boy.
Why is it targeting Yoona? Out of curiosity.
Because I'm guessing that she's closest to where the person is.
Yoona is not far from wrong. I think that's a miss, right, Yoona? 14?
Yeah, because my armor is 17.
All right. The beam goes flying towards you, and you realize now that the beam is coming from this unconscious, quote-unquote, unconscious individual who's lying there on the couch, immobilized. These beams just keep flying towards you. You're not sure what's going on here, but there they are.
Oof.
Oh, hey. Kira decided she wanted to have a Khierix token.
Yep, I did.
Ta-da!
He's
That's how big he
huge.
is.
He becomes a kaiju and
Yeah.
stomp. Just kidding.
Oh, I was hoping he'd be on our roof.
You
He's
wanna
over
okay,
there.
Sure, yeah, he's
Oh,
over here.
thank you.
Hey guys, battle looks like it's going pretty well.
Yeah, hi,
Keep up the
Khierix.
good work. Yeah, and actually, another beam automatically hits Azure Knight. Oops.
From where?
Why don't you roll a perception check since you're right there? Maybe you can see it coming. This one's gonna be harder to see, but you definitely could find it. 1d8 plus 3. Okay. He takes 6 damage.
16.
16. That's enough. It was a 15. You actually see there's an individual asleep inside of this car here.
Ah.
Oh.
So I'm going to put them on the token layer. Do you see him now?
Yep.
There he is. Asleep. There's just this immobilized figure asleep in the car. And you're like, what the heck? All right, Dan. You have this indigo husker next to you. What do you do?
To cast transformation on my weapon and attack it.
Perfect. Go for it. So transformation turns your weapon into a 3d4 weapon. So if you successfully hit the indigo husker, you will do 3d4 damage. Plus MAM. Are you gonna roll? D20 plus 5.
Plus 5.
Yep. Proficiency plus MAM. Or is it plus 4? I don't know your MAM.
Well, you could
My
use
MAM is 2.
Okay, you can use your dex instead if you want, or whichever you use to attack. You get to choose.
They're
You
both
get to
2.
choose. Oh, okay, then yeah. So,
Yeah, it's you may use it if you want to.
perfect. Go for it. Ching! Holy
Ooh.
smokes, you guys are rolling like on fire! Alright, sweet. So you're gonna do 3d4 plus.
Oh, wait a
MA
second. Don't I have to roll to see if my stress gives me a penalty?
You know, with the 19, that's very true, but with the 19, you're gonna hit anyway. So, upon a successful attack, though, you can take 2 stress points to add 3 plus Magi-Knight level to the damage. Plus, you can add plus 5 damage for 2 stress points. Do you want to do that?
Yes.
All right. So add 2 stress, and you're gonna roll 3d4 plus 7.
Yikes.
All right.
Good thing you gave yourself the +7.
Seriously. All right. 11 damage.
Almost couldn't have been worse.
Okay. And actually, yeah, that's good. Okay. When you slam what's your object again? What's your weapon?
It's a wand, but I guess the transformation spell changes it.
Right, or just
I'll
empowers
change it into a giant axe.
A giant axe, right? You take this axe, you cleave it straight into the indigo husker, and suddenly this plume of smoke and vapor just explodes out from him.
Oh no.
All Magi-Knights within 5 to 10 feet. Thankfully, Yoona's just barely far enough away. Oh my gosh. Take damage as magic damage. Let's see. So half the total damage. So that would be rounded down. So 5. So Magi-Knights within 5 feet take 5 damage. So you take 5 magic damage from this vapor that just kind of caustic vapor that just flows into your face. All right. Is that the end of your turn?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, actually, you have a bonus action, right? Oh no, you don't. Verity.
Yeah, but I mean, what could I do with it?
Well, I think you used it.
I make a rude gesture.
You make a rude gesture as he spews in your face.
Okay, I'm
That's
gonna
amazing.
use restoration to give us some temporary HP.
Perfect. So a D4 plus MAM. Right?
Yeah.
Very good.
And
You could empower it.
oh yeah.
Why don't you do that just so that people can... So you overcharge the spell by taking 2 exhaustion points, and you get to add a number of D4s equal to your reputation level minimum 1.
Okay.
So you take 2 exhaustion, and then you get to add an additional D4.
How did I get an exhaustion already? Oh, that's right, because I jumped up.
You jumped
Oops.
up. Yep.
Okay.
Alright. So 2d4 plus 3.
Okay.
So everybody is going to gain...
Yikes! What's with all the ones?
Oh no. But still, everybody gains 5 temporary hit points. So that's still 5, 10, 15, 20. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
That will go a long way. With your bonus action, would you like to see if you could rally the Azure Knight who's trembling and quaking in his
Yes,
boots?
definitely. I wanted to do that. Especially because I'm proficient in leadership.
Oh my gosh, you guys are just rocking it. Yeah, so you snap him out of it. Instead of being horrified, he is
Yeah.
now distressed.
I say to him,
Yeah, what do you say to him?
let's see. You can do this. You gotta help us win this fight.
Okay. He's like, you're right. Okay. You're right, Heartkeeper. This is our first time, but I've got this. I think. Because he's still distressed. So now instead, as a distress, he has a disadvantage on all checks. His move is reduced to 15, as long as he has the condition. He fails leadership skill checks. he loses total focus if he has it. As a standard action, he can roll to resist horror, and on success, he can remove the condition. Or he can, this is something new he added in, and I'm going to do this. He can forcibly remove this condition by making a 2 trauma purity DC 15 to resist 1 check. So what this means is he's going to make a purity skill check against DC 15. I think I said he had 1, and he fails. So he fails to resist any of the trauma. So he's going to take 2 trauma points, and he's going to gain the berserk condition. And he's just like, "You're right. I can't let these guys down." And he's just going to charge crazily into combat. So he now has the berserk condition. He's going to leap off this building. Let's see. He's going to leap down next to Dan.
Well,
and he's going to use the dumpster, and he's just going to like kick it as hard as he can into the indigo husker.
How strong is he?
He's berserk.
Good point.
And he's a Magi-Knight. Come on. And so berserk. Does he get advantage when he attacks now? Let's see. He must use a standard action to make a weapon attack. And then when he deals weapon damage, he doubles the strength modifier. So, and attacks against him have advantage. Okay. So here we go. He's going to use his what weapon was he using? He's using his throwing daggers. So he's going to use that. He's going to kick the the dumpster towards it, and the indigo husker kind of like bashes it to the side, but it doesn't see, as it throws the dumpster to the side, it doesn't see that he's got all these daggers just flying towards him. So he gets an additional 2. So he gets +7 here to attack. Come on. Okay. Unfortunately, I think that's a miss, sadly.
No.
Indigo husker. Indeed it is. It is sadly a miss. He wastes the dumpster. So sad.
No.
Let's see, with a bonus action, he can't do anything. Oh, there we go. No, I think that's it. So, I think we're going to call that there. That's a good place to stop. We've got, Yoona has discovered the one sleeping. You're not sure how that works, but these cultists, for some reason, when they sleep, they're able to project these invisible beams at people. And so that's something you'll kind of see as you continue on this scenario. These are cultists of the Wraith, acolytes of the Wraith. And they have the ability to inflict dream terror, so when they pass out, they get to shoot these nasty magical beams, but they're completely defenseless when they do so, so it's a little bit of a trade-off. Yeah, anything we didn't really cover that you guys think people might like to know about combat?
I will say that if the combat was going to go on longer, I think Yoona would have actually tried to wake up the cultist and try to reason with him to back down.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's something that I've done with our other character in our main campaign, is just try to talk to, like, why are you doing this? What do you really get out of this? You shouldn't do this, yada yada. Try to talk them down, and sometimes it's worked, other times it hasn't.
Mm-hmm.
But it is a legitimate thing that can impact the battle that I like doing.
Yeah, absolutely. We didn't get a chance to deal, conscience hit points to any of the cultists this round, but
yeah, because the conscious hit points from the what was used in the school battle, the school fight, does apply to Magi-Knight battles as well.
Definitely, it definitely does. Yeah, so that
there are some advanced techniques like squad formations, squad attacks, was it?
Yeah, so squad formations you unlock as you get a little bit higher in reputation level. Combination maneuvers. As you guys continue to get stronger, you gain access to combos, which deal true damage. And actually, every outsider has a resistance to either physical or magical, and you're not sure which it is until you've encountered them. So using combos is the only way to completely bypass those resistances and deal true damage. So yeah, that's something you won't see at level 1. Probably not in this first scenario, an Echo from the Stars, but definitely will be applicable as you guys gain levels. What do you think, Kira? Anything else?
No, I actually was thinking about the social combat too, but Amber covered that.
Perfect.
We talked about doing a rundown of quick combat.
Quick combat, you're right. So sometimes people just want to play the story and they don't really want to, bother going through the 2-hour session or whatever it is to go through combat. And there's a few ways to do that. You could simply just reduce the difficulty of the combat. I definitely wasn't pulling any punches here, but you guys were completely steamrolling them. So good job on that. But you can also just do quick combat, which we're still working on the fine-tuning of. But basically, let me pull it up here. Yeah, so you have it's also good for a random patrol phase. So if you have your own scenario you're making and you're not sure what kind of encounter your group should have, you can just roll the patrol die and reference the going out on patrol table and see what happens. And so it might be a quiet night, nothing happens. They get to reduce extra stress points and exhaustion. The black winds can howl, which causes them to not have as restful sleep as they would have, maybe had otherwise. Or they could stumble into a gathering of acolytes, like where they did here, where, the acolytes were trying to summon a spectral outsider, a more powerful outsider than what typically can roam around. And so you roll that, and then you reference the patrol outcome. And so let's take this one. Let's say you rolled a 7 to a 9, because it's a D12 patrol die. You just simply do all Magi-Knights increase their stress points by 2. They gain 1 exhaustion point. They gain a minor piece of evidence, and that's kind of anything the Magic Keeper might need to introduce. So maybe the cultist has a piece of paper that will push the story forward, or maybe they reason with the cultist who, maybe lets his name drop and they realize that he's somehow tied to the story at large, or anything like that. And then every Magi-Knight rolls 2d6 per Magi-Knight level and reduces their total HP by that number. And all Magi-Knights reduce their MP to 0. And then finally, we should have done this real quick. I'm kind of wondering, should we do this? This is kind of important. Let's do this real quick. We need to gather Gloom Gems.
Oh.
Right?
Yeah.
Well, real quick, we'll make it fast. So the way this works is every time you defeat cultists or spectral outsiders, they leave behind loot, but instead of, it's a short bow, it's leather armor, whatever, 5 gold coins. It's inert spectral energy remains behind after you defeat them. So let's just say, initiate cultists, they have elsewhere energy of 2. So there were one of those. 2 groups of mind-controlled humans. They unfortunately don't have any because they're just mind-controlled humans. What else was there? 2 acolytes of the Wraith. So that's 3 apiece. So 8. And then an indigo husker. Right? Actually, there were 3 of them. So that's 9. 11. And then the husker. And the husker has... Husker has 6. What does that put us?
I don't know.
9 plus 6, 15,
16?
right?
17?
17? All right. I'll take your word for it because we're all so tired. We're like, what?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 11 plus 6.
11 plus 6. Perfect. I lost my numbers. Here we go. Gathering inert spectral energy into Gloom Gems. So each Magi-Knight has something called a hollow gem, and these hollow gems are what store this negative energy. And the Magi-Knights as a team are going to gather the energy collectively, and they each will get a number of Gloom Gems equal to how this goes down. So let's go ahead and do it real quick. So the energy rating was 17, you said?
Mm-hmm.
We're going to roll d8s equal to the energy rating. So 17 d8s. Let's split them up, though, as evenly as possible among all squadron members. So what does that put us at?
Are we including Siegfried?
Yeah, I'll help out. Why not?
Mm-hmm.
And then about 4 each. One person gets 5.
Perfect. He's going to roll 5.
Siegfried should do it.
Okay.
He's been through a lot.
He has been. He's super traumatized. Oh, man!
Wow, nice.
That is an incredible roll. So 8s are extremely good. 1s are not so great. 2s are just... anything else is normal. Okay, so there's 1, 2. 7, 7, 7,
What
7,
in the
7.
world?
Yeah.
You
3
guys.
7s.
There's a 1.
There's a 1. Okay.
Oh,
that's
there we
good.
go.
All right, so the way this works is we're going to keep track of these dice. And any 2s to 7s increase the total energy stored by 1. So let's just count up our totals real quick. So not including 8s. So 2 to 7s. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14, right? Does that sound right to everybody?
Yeah.
Okay, so our total energy stored right now is 14. But we still have a 1 and some 8s. So the 8s, if you roll an 8, increase the total energy by 3. So that is actually 6. So that puts us at 20. However, a player rolls a 1, taxes the Magi-Knights enormously, and siphons some of the strength to stabilize the outsider energy. Each member gains an exhaustion point. However, any Magi-Knight proficient in mysticism can allow 1 die to be rerolled per proficient Magi-Knight. Is anyone proficient in mysticism?
Nope.
I am.
Oh, you are? Okay, so Kira, why don't you reroll that 1d8?
Kira. I'm not.
Verity.
Verity's not.
What?
Oh, you want me to re-roll
Dane.
it on behalf of him?
Yeah.
Okay.
He's allowing you to reroll your d8 with his
Okay.
proficiency. I guess technically he could reroll it.
Either way is fine.
Let's just go ahead and roll it. You already have the command line typed out.
Okay. Bah!
Okay.
See, it
It's
shouldn't have been me.
days of 1. It's alright. It's good. Good for this. So in this instance, everybody would gain 1 exhaustion point. If any player rolls a 2, the Gloom Gem taxes the Magi-Knights only slightly. Increase the energy rating by 1, but each Magi-Knight also gains 2 stress. So we had how many 2s? Just 1? 2?
No.
2 2s. So actually, I think we're gonna fix this to 1 stress.
Yeah, well, I
think-
don't know. Because it seems like we're getting a lot.
Yeah.
I think you said if there's any 2s, we each get 1 stress.
Yeah.
So the number of 2s doesn't
Okay.
increase it.
Yeah. So we should gain 2 stress because there are 2 2s.
Yes.
All right, and then finally, multiply the total energy stored by 2. So instead of 20, it becomes 40. So 40 is our total energy. So everybody has 40 Gloom Gems now as a group. Cool, and that's how we get our loot.
Nice.
And
And we can trade those to Khierix for items and shards.
yeah, it's exactly that.
Right.
So, exchanging Gloom Gems, you can trade them for Shards of Power, which are kind of temporary. You can turn them in for armor runes when you gain reputation levels, or a Magi-Knight Visor, which give you, special abilities. And yeah, that's kind of our loot stuff. So instead of just kind of always hoping for, I really wish I could get the one item that gives me, the flame tongue that gives 2d6 to my short sword. That'd be so cool. You actually get to just choose the runes you want for your weapons, and you have a number of rune slots equal to your reputation level. So, you get to basically make and choose your own enchantments, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so I think that was it now, right? We're all good?
Mm-hmm.
Crystal fracturing, some of you took some. We probably would have taken more, but you healed them during the sleep phase. We heal a bunch of stuff during the sleep phase, so I think that's a great breakdown of combat and a perfect place to stop.
Yep.
All right. Well, we hope this little introductory session into combat helps a lot of you guys out. Like we always say, feel free to hop into the Discord and head over to rules clarification if you have any questions or concerns about how things work. We have a very active Discord with a lot of really friendly, helpful people. Mm-hmm. And if you have some advice on mechanics that you think are not, might need some fine tuning or things you'd like to see, you can go ahead and head over to the mechanics workshop. A lot of these changes for 2.1 have been from, our players and fans and feedback from our own tables. So, yeah, just want to extend a very heartfelt and warm, appreciative thank you to Connor and Amber for helping us make these series.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
Yeah, you guys are awesome.
I'm glad to
You're
help.
welcome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think Kira and I, later down the road, may do an introductory video on how to generate statistics for the team.
Mm-hmm.
Right, so fate's influence and how that works with the fate die and such. So, yeah, that was a good time at our
Yay.
table.
Definitely.
Well, guys, with that, we are going to sign off, and we hope you, just enjoy what this game has to offer, and let us know. Send some love, send love our way. Send appreciation, tips, all that fun stuff. And as Khierix says, what does Khierix always say? I'll let Kira tell you.
Give me pudding!
Give me pudding! Mortal, feed me pudding! He does say that. Yes, he does.
Mm-hmm. He says, keep your soul crystal close, but your squad mates closer.
That's
Beautiful.
a little nicer.
That's beautiful. That's a little bit nicer than pudding now, mortal. Feed me. All right, guys. Well, we hope you have a good night and you enjoy the rest of your week.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep, we'll
You
see you
too.
around.